The man in front of me is incredibly brave. While most people wouldn't dare approach an alligator, he's actually provoking it with a stick. But this isn't for fun. He's a famous swamp hunter in America, making his living from hunting. He only works 1 month a year, earning millions. This lucrative industry has drawn many hunters. Due to the overpopulation of alligators in Louisiana, the government allows a 1-month hunting season each year to maintain ecological balance. During this time, hunters can legally hunt alligators for profit with the necessary permits. This year's hunting season is here, and hunters are facing unprecedented challenges. The temperature here has reached record highs. As the 4th day of the hunting season arrives, the swamp hunters are preparing for today's scorching heat. Jacob's team, which set out early in the morning, has already devised a strategy. They plan to start hunting from the farthest traps and work their way back. This approach not only reduces the boat's load but also ensures that the captured alligator skins remain intact and don't dry out and peel off due to negligence. If that were to happen, it would mean the alligator skins would lose their value. "You're quite the genius," someone remarked. However, Tang disagreed with this strategy, preferring to secure their catch immediately. At that moment, Tang spotted an alligator that seemed to have taken the bait, but Jacob insisted on sticking to his plan. Reluctantly, Tang let the lively gator go. Soon, they reached their destination, and Tang quickly noticed an alligator that had already taken the bait. As Jacob approached, he worried whether the alligator was still alive, but this concern was soon put to rest. When Tang pulled it out, the alligator was still full of energy and struggled with Tang. Seeing such a lively alligator, Jacob happily shot it to stun it. This nearly 8-foot alligator on board marked a great start to the day, but the temperature didn't drop because of it. They needed to act quickly. Meanwhile, Zach and Joey, who had also started their hunt, decided to take a big gamble. They would follow the alligators to cooler waters. Zach noticed something ahead and, upon getting closer, found it was a big alligator. Zach confirmed the location. After hooking the alligator, Zach used all his strength, but it seemed he overdid it, and the fishing line snapped under the strain. Frustrated, Zach spat on the ground, but the two didn't want to give up on this giant. After some observation, they still came up empty-handed and had to move on. However, their luck quickly turned as they soon spotted another one. Joey stopped the boat and took over with the treble hook, seemingly not trusting Zach. But Joey soon faced his own challenge. As he hooked the alligator and tried to pull it in, he was nearly dragged into the water. Joey was in utter disbelief, and for a moment, neither of them knew what to do. They had no choice but to continue searching for other alligators. Meanwhile, the Swamp King Troy and Pickles devised their own strategy. They set up several test lines in different water areas, trying to find cooler spots. Troy even tested 2 different areas the night before, finding one at 88 degrees Fahrenheit and the other at 90 degrees. These temperatures were record highs and had a significant impact on the alligators. As they reached the first test line, Troy knew they were in trouble when he saw algae covering the pole. Water temperatures at 75 degrees Fahrenheit create ideal conditions for algae growth, which absorbs more sunlight and raises the temperature further, a vicious cycle. Troy had to move to the next spot immediately. Soon, Pickles spotted a loaded pole, and Troy steered the boat over. As they got closer, Pickles grabbed the rope and started pulling it in. Troy seized the opportunity and quickly dispatched the alligator. After hauling the gator onto the boat, they saw it was covered in algae, signaling the need to find new waters immediately, as this area would soon be devoid of alligators. After tagging the gator, they set off to find a new spot. Meanwhile, Ronnie and Timmy, having had a poor first day, decided to hunt in a remote area several kilometers from their camp after 2 days of preparation. After more than an hour, they finally arrived. Upon reaching their destination, they immediately saw a baited trap. But as they got closer, they found the alligator on the shallow bank, seemingly dead. Timmy poked it with a stick, which woke the beast, scaring Timmy back onto the boat. Frustrated, Timmy taunted the alligator and then handed the rope to Ronnie. The cunning alligator even tried to climb onto the boat but failed. After a fierce struggle with Ronnie, Timmy seized the moment and swiftly dealt with the alligator. After hauling it onto the boat, Ronnie was left dizzy from exhaustion. Although they successfully captured an alligator, they had spent 2 hours in the treeless swamp, risking heatstroke at any moment. In contrast to their ordeal, Zach and Joey fared much better. They realized their previous failures were due to sweaty palms caused by the intense heat. So, they found a shady spot, with Zach wrapping a circle of rope around the fishing rod and Joey tying knots in the rope, determined not to fail again. Soon after, their method was put to the test as an alligator appeared ahead. After pinpointing its location, Zach cast his rod but unfortunately missed, losing sight of the target. However, the alligator created a lot of bubbles, allowing Zach to relocate it and quickly hook it to the side of the boat. Seeing Zach struggle to pull it up, Joey immediately threw a grappling hook. The alligator tried to jump onto the boat but lacked the momentum, causing both of them to step back in fright. After killing the alligator, Zach and Joey were ecstatic, constantly admiring its size, almost making me think they had broken the record for the largest catch in previous years. Once they got it onto the boat, their method proved effective, but the heat made them seek shade to rest. Meanwhile, the Swamp King was still searching for cooler waters. Soon, Pickles spotted a hooked alligator, but as he approached to tie it up, the beast bit down on the rope. After a brief struggle, it let go but continued thrashing in the water. Pickles was a bit at a loss, but humans are smarter than alligators. Pickles managed to hook it out, and Troy took the opportunity to shoot. When they pulled it onto the boat, they found the alligator was very clean, indicating that the water in this area wasn't too hot. In the remote area, Ronnie and Timmy had already successfully hunted for alligators, but the high temperatures were making Ronnie very uncomfortable. Even his voice sounded exhausted. After rinsing his face to prevent heatstroke, which claims up to 700 lives annually in the US, Timmy grew increasingly concerned about Ronnie. He proposed they rest and return later, but Ronnie declined, determined to finish strong today. The scene shifted to Tang and Jacob, who discovered a dead alligator, likely killed by the heat. This worried them, fearing other alligators might have met the same fate. After pulling the alligator onto the boat, they moved to the next spot. Fortunately, the next trap had a lively alligator. Jacob quickly grabbed his gun, and Tang stayed alert. Suddenly, Tang was pulled into the water by the alligator, which started swimming towards him. But Jacob, timing it perfectly, shot the alligator dead, allowing Tang to climb back to safety. On the boat, they couldn't help but marvel at Tang's luck, returning without a scratch. Considering the dense trees and the lurking alligators, it was a miracle he was unharmed. Meanwhile, Joey and Zach, after their initial bad luck, started to turn things around. Not long after, they spotted a relaxed alligator nearby. As they approached, Zach cast his line, but the ripples on the water threw off his aim. While reeling in the line, the alligator surfaced, taunting them. The alligator surfaced, taunting them and instantly getting on their nerves. Zach quickly cast another line, hooking it and yanking it back forcefully. Joey wasted no time and swiftly dealt with the alligator. This shows just how short-tempered they are. The alligator barely showed its head before it was taken down. In the remote area, Ronnie and Timmy were still hunting alligators, enduring the blistering 113-degree heat for hours, with even some fish succumbing to the temperature. They soon spotted an alligator on the line. Timmy grabbed his gun, and Ronnie swiftly pulled the alligator out. Once the alligator was under control, Timmy didn't hesitate to pull the trigger. After hauling the alligator onto the boat, Ronnie collapsed from the heat. Timmy quickly grabbed a towel, but it seemed to have no effect. Ronnie was still feeling nauseous, which worried Timmy. He wanted to take Ronnie back to the camp. Despite Ronnie's insistence on not leaving Timmy to hunt alone, Timmy took him back and then went hunting by himself. Meanwhile, Troy and Pickles opened a new route in a different area, confident they would have a big catch there. After setting all the traps, Pickles saw bubbles rising nearby and quickly threw out a treble hook. An alligator surfaced right in front of them, unaware of Pickles. Seizing the moment, Pickles grabbed his gun and, with sharpshooter precision, hit the target with one shot. To prevent it from sinking, he threw out the treble hook again to secure the catch. The alligator was so heavy that Pickles struggled to pull it up. Fortunately, they managed to bring it to the surface. Seeing this massive catch proved their plan was right. Now, they just needed to follow their planned route to reap a bountiful harvest. Meanwhile, Jacob and Tang had only one trap left to check. But when they arrived, there was no alligator in the trap. Tang quickly noticed the alligator had moved behind them. When Tang pulled it up, he found it was already dead, making it difficult to retrieve. It was about 12 feet long and weighed 400 pounds. So, Jacob tied a rope to it to use as leverage. Then Jacob took the rope. He returned to the boat, and after preparing, they tried to pull it out. Although the first attempt failed, they saw hope and began a second try. But Tang's blood sugar suddenly dropped, frustrating him to the point of jumping into the water to lift it out, but he still failed. Tang was really having a tough day. They kept trying for an hour in the scorching heat without any progress. The sun was also baking the alligators on the boat, and they didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Jacob had an idea: use a bucket as a pulley in front of the alligator. Finally, they managed to pull the beast out. After getting it on the boat, Timmy, unlike Jacob and Tang, had already set out alone to hunt. Soon, Timmy found a trap with a hooked alligator. As he pulled the rope, he realized it was a big one. This alligator seemed a bit dumb, as it was easily controlled by Timmy and didn't even have time to perform a death roll before being shot. However, Timmy couldn't pull it onto the boat. Luckily, humans know how to use tools. Timmy first secured the rope to a chair. Then he pulled the alligator's tail onto the boat, successfully hauling the giant creature aboard. If Ronnie had been there, Timmy wouldn't have had to work so hard. Timmy then headed back to the port, where Ronnie was no longer feeling weak. Upon returning, Timmy shared his catch with Ronnie. After a brief celebration, they loaded the boat onto a truck. Meanwhile, Troy and Pickles were having a fruitful hunt on their new route. Pickles spotted something floating ahead and found it was an alligator. He quickly grabbed a rope to control it, while Troy picked up an American-style net. Sensing danger, the alligator displayed its signature move. Troy didn't hesitate and shot, creating a small fountain. After getting the alligator on the boat, they immediately moved to their next target. They had to keep pouring water on the alligator. Soon, they found another one, which was very lively, shaking the branches as it pulled. As they got closer, Pickles grabbed the rope to prevent the big guy from escaping. The alligator kept rolling after surfacing, making it hard for Pickles to hold the rope. He urgently urged Troy to shoot. The Swamp King seized the moment and ended its life. They tagged it and ended their day. Meanwhile, Joey and Zach spotted an alligator, likely overheated. Zach moved quickly, and Joey threw the treble hook after confirming the position. Together, they pulled the alligator to the surface. Zach didn't hesitate and shot it. When they pulled it onto the boat, they realized it was even bigger than expected. After celebrating their catch, they decided to end their day and head to the buyer. Watching the alligators being unloaded, Zach and Joey felt proud but also exhausted from the sun. "Grandpa," I said, "we can only hope tomorrow won't be too hot." That's it for this episode. Give us a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next exciting episode.